who Isabel is, please?
Absolutely, with pleasure. I am Isabelle Mercier. I'm the host of LeapTV.com, which is an online TV show that talks about how to build an outstanding, profitable brand. I'm a no-nonsense dynamo, have a lot of energy. I help passionate entrepreneurs identify, develop, and implement spectacular, impactful brands, which means that I work with brands on a visual level, like I will design websites and logos and brochures, but I also design the experience for people to experience a product or experience a brand. So most people call me jet fuel because I inject a lot of energy, a lot of passion, and a lot of strategy in as I work with small business owners or larger corporations. So
That is
that's what
great.
I do in a nutshell.
All right, great. How long have you been into online business?
I've been in business 22 years, but I've been on an online business for about 5 years. And it gradually grew. It started with Leap TV, and then it became a membership site called myleaptools.com. And that site is dedicated to help small business owners make more money and have more fun doing their business. And that's all done online with online tutorials, all done by me. But that way I can reach a larger audience that way worldwide, as opposed to just working with entrepreneurs that are close to me physically.
All right, that's a great credential. What is brand identity and how do we manage brand identity?
Okay, so first of all, building a brand is a lot more than the brand identity. So, for example, a brand identity would be your logo, your website, your brochures, anything that visually identify you. However, that is only one small portion of branding. Branding as a whole is being clear about who you are, what you do, and how you make life better for other people. So if you have a product, you need to be very, very clear about what your product solves in terms of problems. What is your strategy to sell your product? Who are you going to sell your product to? And most importantly, why you're going to sell your product to these particular people. That is branding as a whole, or as in a larger sense of the word. And then the visual, your logo, your brochure, that is basically a visual trigger. I don't know. Tell me, Joseph, do you guys have what type of store country that would be similar to something we have in our country? Like, what's a store or what's a brand that you know that I would know as well? Do you guys know Nike, like the shoes Nike?
Not really.
Not
Not,
really. Okay.
yeah.
So I just wanted to give an example that makes sense, like if you buy a product, that product is obviously to help you solve a problem. And if you buy a product and you like the product but you hate your buying experience, that will actually injure, it will be a detrimental to your brand. So it's important, for if you want to start a business, or if you want to have a brand, or if you want to create a product to sell, you need to be very clear about who you want to sell it to, what problem that's going to solve, and why you want to solve this problem. And that is what branding truly is. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It really it does. Like great big companies like Coca-Cola and all that, do we see them as brands?
Yes, they are brands. Coca-Cola is a brand, iMac or Macintosh is a brand. Now, we know them as a brand because we know their product and we either love their product or hate their product. So Coca-Cola, if Coca-Cola,
Hello?
you might, don't forget to turn your recording on again.
Yes, that's just exactly what I've done now. All right. The last question I asked was, could you please tell us a little about leap zone strategies.
A little bit about Leap Zone Strategies. Absolutely. Leap Zone Strategies is a is a branding agency, but it's also a coaching agency. So what we do is we help people, and who we love to work with is we love to work with passionate and successful clients, to help them become even more successful. And we help them create a brand that is recognized, adored, and popular. We help people become more popular with their brands. And we help them do that through brand strategy, through business coaching, and through design and branding. So we basically help people that have clients create a big following from their clients and get clients to say, I would love to work with you regardless of price. And so that requires a lot of guts. It requires a lot of commitment. It requires a lot of consistency, accountability, and it requires an extraordinary promise delivery system. And what I mean by that is every company, every blogger, every person out there should have a brand promise. They should actually be able to promise something that is needed, and they should be able to tailor their entire company to delivering that particular promise. And that's what I help entrepreneurs do. I help them make more money, have more fun with their products and services, and I also help them innovate. I help them find, create new sources of revenue and new products to actually create, problem solve for their own clients. And we do that through online, we do that through one-on-one coaching, one-on-one strategy, and a lot of fun design and innovation. That's what we do at Leap Zone.
All right. What were the catalysts that brought you into massive success?
Say again?
What were the catalysts that brought you into massive success?
Okay, yes, I get that. Well, you know what? I am someone who is very gutsy. I am very clear about how I move forward. I'm very strategic. And most of all, I deliver on what I say I will deliver. So when I promise someone something, I am on time, on budget, and people learn to trust that. So in my industry, it's a lot of artists, and sometimes artists don't deliver on their promise. They're not accountable, and they're not that responsible. And I don't want to say all artists are not like that, but it is a trait. And I happen to be a great innovator and a great artist, but I happen to be a very good businesswoman. So what I say I will do, I deliver, which creates trust, and trust creates a desired brand. And with that comes really great successes, in my opinion.
Yeah. All right. What is it that a businessman who is hungry for success should never do?
Um, First of all, you should never promise something that you won't deliver. That is number one for sure. I think also biggest mistakes that I see is people get attached to their ideas. They get attached to their business. I work with people in business that have been trying to make it work for 20 years, and they can't stop. They don't know when to stop. You have to know when it's time to stop an idea, because it doesn't mean that you think it's a good idea that everybody else will buy it. So sometimes you got to have guts, and you got to say, hey, I have tried my best to make this work. It's not working. I'm going to let it go. Or the opposite also happens. You let go just 5 minutes before this should happen and go big. So you got to know when to move forward, and you got to know when to let go. So those are the two things I would say that you definitely need to avoid, right? Avoid over promising and under delivering, and avoid being too attached. I think the biggest thing would be to be passionate but not attached, so that you can stop or press the gas forward as much as you can, or as much as you want, without being totally attached and having your ego stuck in the equation.
All right. How does Mercy Isabel, all right, sorry. How does Isabel Mercier get motivation after motivating others?
Um, is the question, how do I get inspired?
Yes,
Can you
exactly.
repeat
How
again?
do you inspire others? But how do you get inspired yourself?
Okay, yes, okay. Um, how do I get inspired? Well, I'm a very visual person, so I get inspired by going to a bookstore, for example.
Yeah.
I get inspired by being curious and asking a lot of questions. I get inspired by doing yoga and by traveling a lot. I do travel a lot, and that truly, truly inspires me. And I love to share. So I do a lot of speaking. I share on my online TV show. I share with live events, and sharing and seeing that people understand my concepts and seeing that I change their lives little by little. That is very, very inspirational for me. But I have my own little ritual where I will get up, meditate, go to yoga, and then I take care of me first, and then I take care of all my clients and the people that I work with. And that is hugely inspiring to me.
All right. What could be the major causes of business failures today?
What is the main cause of business failure, did you say?
Exactly.
Okay. Um, you know what? I think that the biggest reason for people to fail in business is because, let's say you love to bake pies. You love to cook and you love to bake cakes and pies. That doesn't mean that you're going to be good in business. It means that you love to bake pies. And a lot of people think that because they love to good in business, and those are two separate things. So what happens is they get to bake pies, they so much more to it than baking pies, and then they get lost and they hate what they do, because what they do is they love to bake pies, and they get stuck in the business equation. They get stuck in, they didn't know how long it would take to start making money. They didn't know how hard it would be to market their pies on the market. And so they get lost in all the other parts because they feel like they don't have money to hire people right off the bat. And then what happens is that kills their spark, and then they end up not baking pies because they're busy doing everything else, and they hire someone to bake the pies, and that's sad because that's what they love to do to begin with. And then they lose their passion, they lose their spark, and they stop doing business, or they continue and they're so miserable that it really eventually kills their business. So that's one piece of it. And the other piece, I had a thought to add here. Let me just think about that. It was, what small business owners do as well is they ask themselves, they get stuck on how they're going to do their business. And how is not important. When you're clear of the what and you know the who, the how will comes. So when I work with small business owners, what I say to them is, don't worry about the how, reverse those letters, because it's the same three letters that are in how and that are in who. When you know what you want to do, when you know why you want to do that, and when you know who can help you, the how happens. But people are so gung-ho and so stuck on making the how work that they lose their spark and then they end up dying. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. All right. What do I need to take my blog to greater heights?
Well, what needs to happen in any blogs for the blog to go to the next level is to make sure that the content that you are putting on your blog is actually content that people really, really are craving. They connect with the content. They connect with you as a blogger. They also connect with the the other people that you're bringing on your blog. Like, for example, you're interviewing me today. You're obviously interviewed other people to be part of your blog. And leveraging the other people's network will help you a lot. I'll give you an example for that. One of my episode on Leap TV was about highlighting Vimeo. Vimeo is the competitor to YouTube. And I prefer Vimeo to YouTube because they're really, really great team. They're a great tribe. I love the way they do business. They make it fun. Their stuff is beautiful. They make my video look beautiful. Therefore, I love working with them. Now, they don't know me. I don't know them, but I use their service. What I did with Leap TV is I created a segment of my show that actually highlights people that I love working with. And what I did with that is once I had an episode about promoting them for free, I don't do this for money, I do it because I love them. They don't even know when I'm doing this. But what I did is once the episode is out, I will connect with them and I will let them know, hey Vimeo, just so you know, I love working with you so much that I have highlighting you as a hero, a brand hero on my online TV show. And what happens here, Joseph, is that people want to brag about themselves. So the strategy that I fell upon is by telling them, which they have hundreds of thousands of viewers and of clients and of connectors or followers. I said to them, hey, I highlighted you as a hero on my show. I thought you might want to actually share this with your network. And so therefore, they brag about themselves onto their network. And it's my show, so I gain some leverage from allowing them to brag about their own selves through me. So any bloggers can take that particular strategy and interview people that are affluent and influential and leveraging their own network by just, wanting them to brag about their interview with you. And that will take your blog to a whole new level because you will leverage other people's network and other people's followers. And whether it's 10 followers or 10 million followers, every follower matters, and every person you can touch with your content or other people's content matters. And to me, connectivity and really providing value is key. And that's what I find works best to take a product, a business, or a blog to the next level.
Quite interesting. All right. How much time do you have for personal rest? And who manages your business in your absence?
Okay, so the only word that I missed in that equation is how much time do I spend doing what?
For personal rest, having rest, observing rest from your business, and when you are not there, who takes charge of your business?
Okay, so I have, I would say, 7 people working with me. And when I'm there, obviously, I take care of certain things. And every person in my business, they all have responsibilities and they all have very different roles. And I take care of the strategy. I take care of the higher level thinking and higher level strategy. And then the other people take care of the coaching, the momentum generating, booking events for me and all that. Now, when I'm away, my team actually, they're very, very, very good at what they do. I surround myself with people that are better than me at certain things so that it allows me to actually, when I leave, I can actually leave for a couple of months and not have to participate that much in my business. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't work. I actually work really hard. When I'm at work, I'm dedicated and I work really hard, but I've set it up so that I am important to the business, but that I am not vital to the business, so that I can go away and enjoy life and learn and bring back new strategies to my business and to my clients without having to deliver everything for myself.
All right. In other words, taking some time off is very important for every business owner.
It is mandatory to take
All right. When is the best time to retire
Never
from
took
business?
time off, and I was
Hello?
and then it takes. Okay, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, so it's like the connection over there went off also.
Yeah, sorry about that.
All right.
Okay, did you press record button yet?
Let me press the record back again now.
Okay.
All right, seems to be back now.
You know what I is it back? Okay, okay.
Yes, seems to be working now. Yeah, it's back. It's working. All right. My
Okay.
last question was, what is the best time to retire from business?
What is the best time to retire from business? Well, that's a good question. It will depend. For everybody is going to be different. I would say if you're no longer enjoying, there are two school of thoughts that I believe in. The first one is if you're no longer enjoying what you're doing, then it's time to retire from it. Or if it's going really, really well and you think that you could actually make good money by selling it, then it might be a good time to sell because if you want to sell your business, then you need to sell it in the good time, not in the bad time. But I think that this is each person needs to ask themselves, where they're at with their business. And for me, I sold my first business. I was 35. I'm 42 today, but I was 35 at the time, and it was time. The business was doing really well, and I was getting bored with it. And I thought, I'd rather travel than continue working on this for a while. So I decided to sell it at that time. But some people continue too long because for fear of maybe not knowing what else they could be doing, right? So, but it depends. I think that is subjective to everybody.
All right. What is your advice about investing in stocks?
My advice about investing in stocks. Well, I'm a gutsy person, and I'm someone who's we call myself an early adopter. So I tend to stock, although I don't do it myself. I have someone who does this for me. And again, it all depends on what my short terms and longer terms goals are. If you're about to take a year off and you want to sell your business, well, maybe investing in stocks might be a little too risky for someone, right? That again is still subjective. And it really depends. Some people like to be gutsy, some people don't. I don't spend a lot of time doing that. I actually am fairly gutsy. I have a gutsy side and a very safe side. So I let the people that I work with do that for me. But I mean, I'm more of a creative gal than a stock investor. So it's not really my area of expertise at all.
All right. All right. Okay. What are the best ways for bloggers to generate money to pursue their business?
Now, do you consider a blogging as in like a blogger that makes money with their particular content, or a free blog? Like, what do you mean by that?
A blogger that makes money, that considers his blog as
Yeah.
a business.
Okay. And so what's the question around that? Say again?
What's the best way for bloggers to generate money to pursue the business?
Okay. Okay. Well, there are many ways to make money through blogging. For example, for me, I opted with Leap TV, which is a form of a blog. It's just I'm dyslexic, so I don't like to write long blogs and write a lot of emails and all that. I prefer to be interviewed or I prefer to record videos because it's easier for me to say what I want to say rather than write it. But what I've learned with Leap TV, which is the same as having a blog, it's just a different method of delivery, is I could make money with having sponsors on the blog itself. I could make money by having people sponsor each episode. So a blogger could have a sponsor that particular blog post for a small fee or for at least exchanging links, right, for gaining a new audience. There's also a way to, with Leap TV, I had an advertorial model, which means that I would interview someone and that someone would own the episode. So if you look at Leap TV, there are 3 episodes that are made, hey, I'm going to pay you this amount a month if you actually talk about our company and our new line of diapers. So there's a way to promote bigger brands intelligently for money. So there are lots of ways to actually take a blog to the next level and really get more money for each post. And those are the ways that have worked the best for me.
Okay. What do you think is responsible for a lot of bloggers not growing beyond mediocre level?
I think that they don't ask enough questions. They don't ask enough questions in terms of what do their audience want to hear more about and want to know more about. And they worry too much about the amount of viewers or the amount of followers rather than providing value and providing great content. And or they don't have a food chain. So what I mean by a profitable food chain, for example, Leap TV is a blog, a video blog that is free. We call that a freemium. And then the next level to right after Leap TV is My Leap Tools, which is $10 a month. After My Leap Tools, there's working one-on-one with me or working in group as a group with me. And then the next level up is working one-on-one with me. And then the next level up is something else. So I think that bloggers don't think enough about what their food chain is. And they only think about their blog, but they don't think about what else they could walk their viewers or readers through. So they don't think about how they're going to make money beyond the blog. Even though the blog is their business, they need to have a different level. We call it tiering. So first tier is free, which is the blog. Second tier is maybe low money per month per person, but it's a membership site. And then after that, it's something else and something else. So I find that most bloggers stay stuck into their own ways and they don't think about how else they could move their viewers and their readers through upgrading them through a different chain of products or services. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. All right. My dream is to use this platform to promote and motivate bloggers, freelancers, young entrepreneurs, etc. How can you possibly partner with me to make this a reality?
I think you're already doing it. I think you're happening. It's by doing what you're doing, actually. Like you're interviewing people that have value to share. Now, let me ask you: Do you speak live at live events?
At the moment, I don't, but I am training myself to be able to do that in the nearest possible future.
Yeah, because that is the best way to promote your content, help people, have an opportunity to help people, and then drive people to your website, to your blog. And that to me has been the best. Leap TV has been one of the best ways for me, and speaking has been the next best thing after that. So in order to promote your blog, speaking is one of the best ways. You can inspire people, empower people. You can create, maybe I have, in my business, I have a set of 12 principles that we believe in and that help people revolutionize the way they do business. If you created a set of 10 or 12 principles to help bloggers take their blog to the next level, and you spoke about that live to events, I guarantee you that you would take your blog to the next level.
All right, thank you very, very much for that lead. In your opinion, what do you think? Who do you think deserves to be interviewed on this platform?
Who deserves to what on this platform?
To be interviewed on this platform on my blog.
Oh, I see. Oh, well, you know what? Tell me, I would need to learn a little bit more about your audience, right? But what I've learned right now is your audience are bloggers, and you want to help these bloggers build more successful blogging platforms. So there are lots of amazing people that to me would actually that you would benefit from interviewing. For some reason right now, their names escape me. I've been off work for 2 months. Like I've been working out of country for about 2 months. So for some reason, those names don't come to me, but I would be happy to send them to you via email once I had a bit of time thinking about that so that you can include that in your blog post, if you don't mind.
No problem. That will appreciate that as well. It's all right. You are dealing with a set of work-at-home moms or thereabout, especially women. Am I right?
Yep. Yes.
All right. Apart from dealing with women, do you also inspire men to grow in their businesses, or do you speak to men as well?
Yeah, absolutely. The events that tend to hire me are more geared towards women, but my client base is 50-50. I work with men and I work with women really, really well. Um, I'm I have a lot of testosterone. I get along well with men because I'm a no bullshit kind of girl. I say it like it is. I don't beat around the bush, and I'm very honest. In my country, I don't know if you guys know Simon Cowell. Simon Cowell is the producer of American Idol. And this is a big, big, big show in the States. It's a big TV show in the States. And Simon Cowell is known as a bit of a, he's a bit of a bastard, actually, because, you know, he's really, really blunt and he hurts people with what he says. Now, I don't hurt people with what I say, but I am very blunt, and men tend to really like that. I say it like it is, and I don't beat around the bush. Now, some women are a little bit more sensitive to that, but I do love to work with intelligent, innovative people, whether they're men or women. I like to work with people who have a strong vision and who are gutsy and who are not afraid to take risks to move forward. And that includes men and women for sure.
All right. Is there anything you want to talk about leap zone strategies that you've not talked about?
What I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a couple things. As I said earlier, I'm going to send you a 20-minute workshop recording that you can add to your blog posts under my interview. I'm also going to send you my ebook. This little ebook is really well designed, super easy to read, and it actually talks about the Leap Zone 12, the 12 principles that we've created at Leap Zone to help people in business take their business to the next level. So I think that it would be better for me to send that to you rather than talk about that. But once you read that, if you want to actually interview me again and ask me additional questions, because it might trigger additional questions, it would be my pleasure to do that.
Oh, great, great. That would be nice. All right. Thank you so very much, Isabel, for your time, for taking the pains to attend this interview. I really appreciate it, and my audience will be so glad to at least watch this interview. Thank you so very much.
You, I welcome you. You know, the pleasure was all mine. And tomorrow I'm going to send you an email with a couple of additional things that I think you and your readers are going to really appreciate. So that'll be my pleasure to do that.
All right. We'll really appreciate that. Thank you so very much. All
Thank you.
right. Yeah. Okay, if you don't mind, you can hang up. I think we are through with this interview. Thank you so very much.
Perfect. Thank you. Bye bye.
Yeah, bye.